Thank you all for being here. We're here to discuss. This is one of our Quick Hit Monday events. I'm going to be discussing how to navigate a transfer fair. We have an amazing transfer fair coming up next month. So this is a great opportunity for you to get some information and learn how to really maximize your opportunities while you are attending the transfer fair. My name is Nikki Hughes. My first name is Lanita, but I do not like that name, so everyone calls me Nikki. I'm a senior specialist at the North Las Vegas campus. You can't see my email there because it doesn't show up on the blue screen, but I will put it in the chat so that if you need to reach out to me or ask any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to me. Also, the CATS at CSN.edu email is also listed if you have any questions that you may want to ask anyone in our department. At the conclusion, and probably even throughout this presentation, you will see a survey that is listed in the chat. Please make sure to fill out the survey. It lets us know what we're doing right and also what we may not be doing right, um, and what we may need to do to improve on the services that we are offering in our department. So with that being said, we'll go to slide 2. The transfer process is very unique. It's an opportunity for you to visit with the admission reps from colleges and universities across the country all in one place. Think of it as a shopping trip for colleges, where you'll learn more about individual institutions and sort through their transfer requirements that are you're going to need for your particular major. However, just like a trip to the mall, it's easy to be overwhelmed with so many choices available. I actually think it's a great idea to have a lot of choices because then you can maximize your opportunities. But follow this advice to make the most of your experience. 6 easy steps to navigate the transfer fair. There are so many more steps, but these are some really key steps to help you get through the process. One, it's okay to start early. Are you a college freshman who thinks it's too early to explore your transfer options? I would absolutely say not. And the reason I say that is because those years go by so quickly, and it's better to start thinking about transfer now rather than later. And I can't tell you from a senior specialist point of view that there are a number of students that wait almost too late. We had several students that graduated in December that actually came to us in December saying, "Oh, I'm going to want to transfer to UNLV," and they had actually missed the deadline. The deadline was November 1st, so it's never too early to start this process. 2, do your homework. Scan the full list of colleges and universities attending. Make a note of the schools that interest you the most and plan to visit their virtual booths at the fair. So if you know you want to stay in state, look at the list of those schools that are in state and make sure that you are going to their booths. Narrow the list by asking yourself those questions. Are you looking for a college that's close to home or in a different part of the country? Are you interested in a small private school or a large public university? Which colleges offer your major? You'd be surprised. Every college may not offer your major. What's the cost of tuition and what types of scholarships or financial aid are being offered? 3, keep an open mind. Have a plan, but don't be afraid to deviate from it if a college that wasn't on your original list catches your eye, which means something like this. You may have been wanting to go to UNLV, but you may still have had to come out of pocket. But what if the University of Houston is at the transfer fair and they're saying, hey, we can give you a full ride if you come to our university? So be open. Chatting with representatives from a variety of colleges can also help you figure out your own preferences. Sometimes it's just as important to know what you don't want as it is to make your transfer wish list. Be polite, but spend most of your time on schools that match your interests, not just humoring friendly admission representatives. And I can't stress that part enough, really being open and talking to the reps, because sometimes you can get information from a college that may not even been your list for you to ask when you're talking to the representative of the college you do want to go to. So as it says, please be polite when you're talking to those representatives. 4, make your questions count. Remember, quality, not quantity, defines a successful college fair experience. Instead of trying to collect a brochure from every booth, have in-depth conversations with representatives of the colleges you're most interested in exploring. Don't bother asking generic questions like, do you have a good engineering program? What college is not going to say yes? Or just be honest, that's not really a good question to ask. Instead, ask what sets their program apart from other colleges. You might also want to see if there are scholarships available that are stackable with other financial aid, which is really key. So let me add on to, when you ask what sets their program apart from other colleges, one of the things could be how many of your graduates obtain jobs after college? That's a great question to ask. And on the next slide, I will actually go over some sample questions, that you can ask. And I will make sure that if you want this PowerPoint with these sample questions, we'll make sure that the attendees have this PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Does your school offer your major? If so, can you tell me about it? Make sure that if you want to go to a school that they offer your major. It may be the greatest school, may have the best dorms, it may have the best scenery, the best campus, but if they don't offer your major, you're wasting your time. May students change their major once they are admitted to the university? That's a good question to ask. You may still be undecided. You may have decided to major at CSN as an associative arts major and you're still unsure. So make sure you're asking that question. How is the grade point average used in the admission process is a great question to ask. As a transfer student, are there any drawbacks to applying to your campus as an undeclared student? Great question to ask. Are there any specific requirements for certain programs at the university? Are there courses I need to complete prior to transfer? And I'll use that as a great question because it happens even if you want to stay in state and go to UNLV. Sometimes you need to take extra classes that may not have necessarily been on the degree plan at CSN, but are requirements for you to transfer over to UNLV. So make sure that you are asking those specific questions. And one that is the biggest question that definitely is down at the bottom of the list, but it's probably one of the bigger questions to ask in the beginning. What are their admission requirements and their deadlines? Deadlines are so important. At CSN, we have open deadlines. There are not many deadlines here at CSN. And so students get used to, being able to walk in and register on the same day. Totally different situation when you start looking at transferring schools. Schools have deadlines. They have deadlines when they process financial aid. They have deadlines when you can apply for admission. They have deadlines for scholarships. So make sure that you are staying on top of those deadlines.
Mm-hmm.
Some other questions to ask regarding financial aid, scholarship, and tuition. What financial aid programs does the college have? Every school has different financial aid programs, even for DACA students. There are some schools that have more DACA money than other students, so ask those questions. Are there separate deadlines for admission and scholarship applications? What is the amount of financial aid package that is awarded to students at the university? That's a good question to ask. Do you offer any payment plans for tuition? A great question. If you know that you may still have a little bit of money to pay, will they allow you to do payment plans? Most schools are doing that, but I do know there's a couple of schools that want their money up front. Like I said, what are the application deadlines? What is the financial aid process at your school? It definitely will not be the same process as CSN. So make sure that you know those deadlines. I remember when I was in college, if there's only just a select few of people that are working in those financial aid office, that means the lines are going to be really long. How many people are in your financial aid office, and when is the best time to come to your financial aid office are good questions as well. Campus life involvement. When you choose a college, you definitely want to know what the campus life is about. Does your university have a club, organization, or activities for me to do? You don't want to go to a college that does not have activities. What kind of recreational activities are available on campus? What is campus life like at the institution? Is it easy to get involved? Do you have a variety of diverse student groups on campus? Is a great question to ask as well. In terms of walking distance, how far are the classroom buildings from each other? What is job placement on for graduates? What do most graduates from the university go on to do? And I want to go back to the question about in terms of walking distance. One place in particular that I know that a lot of students in California when I was growing up wanted to go to the University of California, Berkeley, but it is a very massive campus that is uphill and there's very limited parking. So it's not like you can drive your car and park in front of the building. It is a campus that most students utilize either walking, mopeds, or scooters. And both mopeds, scooters, or just it's just very tough terrain because of the hills. So make sure that if you don't have transportation, it's a very big campus that you know how the campus looks. So I'm very big on also asking the college, do you have any virtual tours that I can attend? If you're not able to make it to the campus in person, do they offer any virtual tours? Job placement. Is their job placement helpful graduates? If don't go to a college that does not have a good office to place their graduates. If they're not helping you get a job after graduating, that really is not a good opportunity for you, because then you're stuck after you graduate with a degree and don't have any placement opportunities. What do most graduates from the university go on to do? It's a great question. I want to do whatever career field you may choose after college. Is there something at the university that could help me pursue that? Those are great questions to offer. Also ask the question, what percentage of your graduates do graduate? What percentage of the students do graduate is a great question to ask. Back to the top six, be engaged and make contacts for the future. It's tempting to casually wander through the college fair without realizing it's a great networking opportunity. Myself and a couple of my colleagues on here, we always talk about the importance of networking. Networking is really big, because you may have a question later on and someone provided you some great information. That's a great networking opportunity to stay in contact with someone. Pay attention to who you're talking to with at each booth, and ask for their contact information at the end of your conversation. You may have thought you got all the information, but it's okay to reach back to them, and that lets them know that you're interested. As it says, keep in touch and reach out with thoughtful questions that demonstrate your interest. And I want to add to that too, just a personal example. My two nieces really wanted to go out of state. They wanted to go to historically Black colleges, and at first they were not getting enough money to really cover the tuition. My niece was very persistent in making sure that she emailed the financial aid office, the deans, from the department that she wanted to major in, the financial aid office. She hounded them down so much that they waived her out-of-state tuition. They found her a 4-year full ride scholarship. She doesn't pay any money out of pocket. So that's why it's important to ask those thoughtful questions and show people that you're interested. Even if you successfully gather a lot of information, be sure to schedule a campus visit. It's still the best way to find your ideal transfer fit. Remember, the transfer fair is only the beginning of your college search. You'll need to do more research, make a choice, and follow through. Have fun. The transfer fair is a way to expand your horizons beyond what you found so far on college search engines and by word of mouth. I really say, this is a great time to really explore yourself. Going to college is an amazing experience. I had the pleasure of going away to school. And I think it's a great experience. If you're not interested in going away, it's okay. But I do believe that when you go away to college, it is an eye-opener experience and it helps you grow. And don't just, like I said, don't just look at search engines. You really need to do the research and have fun looking. It's a great time in your life to really explore great opportunities. And don't be afraid to explore something new. As I was saying, if you may have been only thinking about going in state, don't be afraid to look at out of state. But make sure you're able to separate the schools with good sales pitches from those that should be strong contenders for your transfer choice. And I want to add to that, there are a lot of schools out there, for-profit schools. Be mindful of for-profit schools, because they're in the business of, making money. They have great sales pitches, but make sure when you're asking the questions about financial aid, as was listed on those previous slides, find out how much they're going to give you, because at the end of the day, you're still owing money. That sales pitch means nothing if at the end of that conversation you're going to be in debt when you enroll. At this time, are there any questions? Well, as I said, this is we have a transfer fair coming up next month. Register early. We have a lot of colleges that will be attending. It is a great opportunity to network with different colleges and learn about what other colleges have to offer. It's just a great opportunity to learn. We're expecting probably up to 30 colleges that will be attending, colleges and universities that will be attending all over the country. So please get the word out. Last year, we had 163 students, I believe, that showed up to the transfer fair. We need more students to participate. We have colleges that came from last year. We had San Francisco State, Arizona State, colleges that don't normally get to come to transfer fairs because we offer them in person, but having them virtually allows us to open the doors for more colleges to attend. So it's a great opportunity for students to be able to connect with colleges that they may not be able to connect with if we were having them in person. Well, thank you all for attending. We really appreciate you. We'll make sure to get this PowerPoint out to everyone before, I believe we'll try to get it before the end of the day. If not, it definitely will be out tomorrow. If you have any questions. And with that being said, we will end the recording, and thank you all for attending, and have a great evening.